Hello, Leute. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you've never been here today. I would like to discuss recommendations for someone living abroad. Now, I want to start out this video by saying that if you are looking to live abroad or you are living abroad and you are going through that feeling of homesickness, that it is a normal feeling. You are not alone. I don't know anyone that lives abroad that didn't go through that feeling or has a wave of that feeling, and maybe bouts of sadness or depression. So it is a normal thing because you are mourning the loss of a part of you that existed for probably your whole life of what you've known. And at the same time, this new piece of you and part of you in person is budding because you're in a new place, a new culture, you're meeting new people. So it's a normal feeling. Let yourself feel it. And um, yeah, I have decided I'm going to insert here a video of myself from, I think it was November 2022. I was debating if I wanted to put it in this video, but I think it's important for someone who's maybe feeling that feeling to feel connected and see that they're not alone, or for someone seeking to understand what it really means to live away from your home and be more welcoming to someone. This is what someone goes through. So this is a video of me shortly after I had visited my home in Los Angeles for a long time. I got home. Um, I think my grandpa was sick at the time and friends were having children. My best friend had a child and I knew I wasn't going to be there. Um, and I'm just kind of realizing over and over again that I've made the commitment to stay here, but really also missing home and not knowing if I was sure. So if you'd like to watch that, then go ahead. If not, then feel free to fast forward through it. It's about 4 minutes long.
Hey guys, um, I wanted to come on here to record because I think that it sounds so magical when someone wants to move abroad or live abroad. But when you do it long term, it's really hard. And some days are like this. Um, I contemplate all the time if I want to move back home to the US or to California where my family is. Um, But the reality is that my husband's family is also here where I live in Germany, and it would be the same for him to move away. Um, I think it there's also a cultural difference, and that also makes it really hard. I've met some amazing people here, kind people here. I've made friends here, but for some reason, it doesn't quite feel like it is at home. And I do feel like the space I live in is home. And I feel like my husband is home. But as a total, it doesn't feel like home. It's not my language. Although I can speak some German, it just doesn't feel like home in a way. And yeah, I just flew home from visiting my family on Monday. It is now Friday, and whew, this is what it normally looks like. It always feels like questioning why I chose to come back and feeling like, is that a mistake? However, maybe I'll discuss this in a later video, but there's reasons why, of course, we make that choice, not just because of family, but there's other reasons. And it's really hard to put your it's hard to choose to put your emotions or your logic first. Uh, yeah, I don't want to get anyone wrong that I hate living here, I don't like living here, I do, and there's days where I'm really happy in that choice, but I miss many times who I am back at home in America versus who I am here. Because if any of you are international, you know that, yeah, you kind of have like, I don't want to say two personalities, but it's kind of like that. Like you have two versions of yourself. And yeah, sometimes you miss the other version of yourself. Um, when you're, you know, when you're living abroad. So I have always wanted to record videos of my experience living abroad and going back home, and I could never figure out the time to do that. But I woke up early this morning from jet lag because I'm from California and I live in Germany, so it's a 9-hour difference. Except for about 2 weeks out of the year when it's an 8-hour difference because of daylight saving time. And I got up really early and I thought I'm gonna do some yoga because it's good for me and it'll make me feel better. And this is what yoga looks like today. Sometimes this is necessary. So here I am, and I thought, you know what? I'm sure there's other people feeling the same way. So I'm going to record this experience and share it with people.
All right, you guys, welcome back to the smiling face version of myself. I am in such a better place now, a couple years later. I don't think I've had such a strong bout of homesickness since I filmed that video, and I have been home a couple of times since then. But I think that I've really put in the work to make this place feel like my home, especially in these last couple years, to the point where I'm excited to be going home. We're going to be going home to visit my family here in about a month. And although I'm really looking forward to that, I also am kind of like sad to leave my home here because it's summer and could do things with friends and spend time in the garden. And we've been doing some like updating in the new place that we moved into. And so I'm kind of like, I don't want to leave my home. I'm like excited to be here at the moment. And I, yeah, recently moved into a dorf. I've been getting to know people here. So to break that up um, feels kind of hard. So just to show you that, you know, this is what the other side looks like. I feel very happy and yeah, I hope you guys can feel the same. So with that said, I want to get started on these 4 tips so I can kind of tell you guys the things that I did to put in the work to make this place feel like home and not have such strong hope sickness. Let's get started. I have 4 main points I want to talk to you about today, and these are kind of the grouping of all the things that I have done for myself over the years to make my current home, Germany, feel like my home, to feel comfortable and welcomed. So, the first one I call stay connected. And this is, of course, you want to stay connected with your friends and family at home. So, I know that, of course, you're going to call and have video calls. I would make a recommendation to have scheduled video and phone calls with your closest friends and family back at home at least a couple times a week. So I have one friend, one of my closest friends. We talk every month, once a month. We have every third Thursday of the month. We do a call together, and that's something that we can look forward to every month to connect, especially if you live in a place like I do where the time difference is so big. Most of the year, it's a 9-hour time difference between me and where I grew up. And that's always really hard because now, especially that I'm a mom, it's like either really late at night or really early in the morning for one of us. So having that scheduled call, even if I'm going through a hard time, I know that I'm going to be talking to one of my loved ones at that time. I also have a schedule with a friend where I know exactly when she's driving to work, and we try to call each other throughout the week and talk even just for 15 minutes on that car ride during the day. You feel like you're involved in that daily life with each other, right? So schedule calls if you can. Don't just rely on it happening when it happens. Another thing that I've done is like having breakfast together. So, or breakfast and dinner, right? So, one of my friends, she'll call when she gets up for breakfast, and my son and I are having dinner, and our kids and us will see each other on the videos and we'll talk, and the kids can look at each other and laugh and kind of interact while we're eating together. So, it makes us feel like they still get to grow up together. Another great idea is pen pals. So I know in nowadays and age we can call in everything, we think we don't need that, but actually something about holding something physical from someone you love feels really special, right? So if you're a parent, have your kids send cards back and forth. Or if you have, a grandma who's maybe not good with video calls, send them a card. Send them a card with international stamps in it that they can write you a card back or ask your parents to give it to them. But snail mail is also a great way to feel physically connected with them. Another great way, of course, is social media. So part of my joy in posting in here is that my family and friends can see what I'm experiencing and feeling here. That was part of my reason behind wanting to do a channel like this, is to be able to share kind of what you're going through, right? Um, let's see, what else do I have? Oh, game evenings and using digital platforms. So, for example, I think it's Netflix, they do where you can schedule to watch the same movie at the same time. So, having a movie night where you're both watching the movie in your homes, like at the same time, one of you mutes it and you play it at the same time and you get to like watch the movie together. So, anything that makes you feel really connected. There's also apps where you can play games. So if your family is like mine who enjoys playing games, then you can literally play digital games together like Hangman, or you can play like word guessing games or drawing games where you're on teams together. It's a great way to still feel like you get those interactions with each other. And don't forget to celebrate holidays from the home. So if you have a group of people here, then wherever you're living, then celebrate your holidays from home, even if they're not celebrated here. I celebrate Thanksgiving almost every year here with a group of American friends. You know, um, we get together, one makes the turkey, we all bring sides, our kids play together, we all speak English together. A friend of ours always organizes at her house. Sometimes in the past, we've done murder mystery parties for Halloween where we all dress up. So it's important to keep those, I think, holiday traditions, whatever they have, whatever your beliefs or your religion is, I think is important to keep those things and try to incorporate them in your life here, because it's a part of who you are. All right, the second point I called building connection. Of course, that is making a community here where you're living. So join local expat groups. Now, at least where I live, and I know in other cities, if you go onto Facebook, I know not everyone uses Facebook so much, but there is so many different groups you can find. So in my local area, there's there's mama groups for this area. There's mama groups in English. There's parenting groups. There's expat general groups, right? So just Google on Facebook expat group Paris, or expat group Cairo, or wherever city, wherever you're located, right? See if you can find on Facebook, an English speaking group of London, Well, that's a funny example because obviously they speak English there, but yeah, English speaking group of wherever. Okay, and this is a great way to meet people. And on those forums, you usually can also find that there's WhatsApp groups from those areas. So you can go into communities in WhatsApp and see if you can find any communities existing in your local areas on any chat systems as well. So this is a great way of making friends. Another thing I did in the past is Bumble. A lot of people know it for dating, but actually Bumble's a great way for making friends. Bumble, or at least they did when I was using it over a year ago, they had a friend Bumble version where you're looking to make friends. So You can make a profile and you can look for other people, same sex, not same sex, it doesn't matter. That it's just you're looking to make friends in the local area. I've met someone this way. This is a great way to make friends. Look for any flyers sitting up. If something's interesting to you, get yourself out and go, right? Look for any flyers up in your city and just show up there. Maybe you'll meet someone, maybe you won't, but at least you're getting out. Join a class if you like yoga. So here in Germany, they love Vereins, which are like clubs. Join a sports club, join a chess club, join any kind of class where you're going to get out and you're going to meet people. And when I say building connections, it doesn't have to just be connections with locals. So this was one thing that I personally got stuck with in the beginning is I was like, oh, I don't want to be the foreigner. Like I want to come into society and I want to make German friends. And I think in the beginning that closed me off to relationships. Then I realized, no, I'm open to all relationships. And not only that, it's important to have connections from people back at home. Because that's a part of who you are and it allows you to kind of live in this experience in a safe space. I do also say that you should branch out and get to know locals where you are too, but don't be scared to have a combination of the both. That's why taking classes are great, especially in the local language if you can, because it's a great way to meet also people that are from here. And I also have take a language course. I've taken a couple language courses here and I've met so many different cool people from different places. And also our German teachers were really cool. And then they might give you ideas of things going on in the city where you can go with someone that speaks, English, or depending on what language you're learning, like speaks your language and the language you're learning. And this is a great way to go out and feel comfortable in the new space that you're in. So search for hobbies, search for meeting people. Thirdly, of course, get outside. Don't sit in your apartment where you're not going to meet anyone. So go outside, get some sun, go to a park, lay under a tree, have a picnic, read a book, get a coffee. But whatever you do, get outside. It's good for your mental health, it's good for your body, and who knows, maybe it's a way that you also meet people. A little tip is that depending on what city you're living in, you can always look up free tours. A lot of cities, especially here in Europe, um, and I know that they have them in the US, offer free tours. You can type in free city tour and see what free tours are going on. And it's a donation base, right? So you can donate a little money and you can get to know the city and also different areas while you're walking around with someone that kind of knows the area that you feel safe with. So check out if there's any free tours in your area, or if you want, then paid tours. It's maybe a great way to experience the city in like kind of a comfort area in the beginning. Plus, then you can ask like, hey, is there any coffee shops you'd recommend or places, like I want to meet locals, and who knows, maybe they will also invite you to something. And my last main point is build your safe space, right? So wherever you're living, you need to have your safe space. And what I mean by that is make your home homey, whatever that space for you is. And, put up pictures of loved ones. In the beginning, when I got my apartment, I didn't like putting like pictures of people up because I wanted it to look like fashionable. And what I realized was that I missed my family and friends so much. Once I filled my space with pictures of the people I loved, it made me feel so much more calm and so much at home. And it felt like such a safe space for me. So put up pictures of people you love and document your journey. So make a blog, make a journal, write down things that you can go back also, so that as I showed how I was feeling earlier, you can then go back and look at it. And for me, when I went back to look at that video, because I was prepping to film this video, I was thinking, oh my gosh, I don't feel like that anymore. Like I feel like I've come such a long way than that. It doesn't mean that it won't ever go back to that, right? But it feels so good to be able to see the growth in yourself, in your confidence, how you're feeling, your mental health. So it's a great thing to vlog or blog or journal, do whatever works for you. But it's a great way to go back and look and make this space that you live in also feel safer to you. Do gratitude practice if that's something you're into, right? Speaking positive out into the world. And a big one is food, right? Like most people miss their food from home and love their food from home. So if you can get access to food that you would get at home where you're living, then buy those things or ask your family to send you some things. Or if you go back at home, bring a couple of your favorite snacks with you. Or if you love to bake, bring some of the things you would bake with that you can't get in your new home. But bring any of those cultural things here that make you feel at home. I also brought my childhood stuffed animal with me, and it slept in my bed every night with me until my baby came into my bed with me, and then that didn't really work. And that made me feel so cozy to have my stuffed animal from when I was a little kid with me in my hands, you know? And create that routine in your house, outside, whatever you can, your daily routine so that you keep yourself busy. So, those are the main things that I've done to make myself feel safe and happy and to over time make Germany feel like my home. I hope wherever you're living, you can do the same and you can build your safe space. And see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.